Hello, dear, beautiful, wonderful world. Today, I would like to talk about a most delicious topic. The topic organism versus mechanism. We have built up a very strange kind of view on this world, and it has more or less come automatically after Kant Laplace did his theory, and that's what it is, a theory, a mythology. We are not mechanical. We are not mechanical atoms and molecules that have randomly been put together as an intelligent being that can cognize and have perception of the universe in relation to ourselves in general. We are living spiritual organisms. And the difference between an organism and a mechanism speaks for itself. An organism is always changing, always shifting form, becoming something else. A mechanism is a crude copy of the peak pinnacle of what human beings can be. Every mechanical instruments we have made, we humans are able to do in the future unless we make ourselves robots. Of course we can do it, but then we are only crude copies of ourselves. That is what I mean by organism. An organism can change. An organism can learn new things and become something more. If a mechanism is to become something more, we as human beings have to put in new programmings, new sides to it. That's the difference. And we put it in the mechanism. That's the same with the theory of the universe. The more mechanism we put in it, the more mechanical it becomes. But there is nothing in this universe that is not alive, living, intelligent, and wise. We are living in a sublime universe that is both spiritual and physical. And the physical is just a reflection of the spiritual. And not just a reflection, it is a beautiful reflection of the spiritual. We create the mythologies, perceptions, cognitions, understandings of the world by always studying it and find our solutions to what base feelings, what healthy outlooks are we going to view the world from. If we view the world as mechanical, it is such a degrading view. It is such a limiting view that makes us less than what we are. It makes us less important. It makes us less powerful. It makes us some kind of ants, but we are mechanical instead, and that's even worse. We are, every single one of us, every single one on this planet has something to say, has power to make change, has power to do good, and to do bad, and to do errors. That's what we human beings are here for, to overcome error, to become better, to do better, to change, to become more, to become creative, to become spiritual. It is an underlying impulse today. When people are, most people, even children, when they listen to science and such in school, and it is painful. You feel it in your gut. It is true, but it is only 1,000th of a truth. It is only the surface, you know. They are only describing the surface. But to penetrate into the surface and see every every behaviors, every movements, forms, the strength of it all, and the feelings of it all. Life is not meant to be comfortable. Life is not meant that you are hiding in safety in a box. Life is meant to be explored, to introduce something new to this world, based on what we already have here. But we can't do it like we did 100, 200, 500 or 1,000 years ago, We have to evolve ourselves to what we are becoming today. More intelligent, intricate, conscious beings, spiritual beings. And when we do this, our life becomes enhanced. Our life becomes healthy. Our life becomes something that has purpose, that has a place in this world, that has a role to play. And when you feel you have a role to play, no matter how dark and painful and sorrowful the existence might be from time to time, and we sit in it and feel it, we are not afraid of these feelings because it is life. And to overcome these feelings and to love these feelings as our own requires real dignity. It requires a stable foundation in spirituality. It requires a certain level of objectivity and cosmic love. To go outside yourself and see yourself as an individual in relation to many individuals. Of course, you do not forget yourself. You do not say you are not important here, the world is important here. You are as important as the world, and you have to partake in the world. And partaking in the world does not mean earning money, does not mean partaking in industry, does not mean painstakingly wake ourselves up every morning at 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. yeah, and what is it called? Sorry, to just pain ourselves through a day we more or less don't even like, just to get the money, just to get the safety, just to be safe, to have a home. I can't speak for the families here, for family has a different role to play here. But those that have a free agenda, that does not have the responsibility of specifically a family, has other responsibilities. We have the responsibility to cultivate for everyone what others can't do because they have other roles to play. That is pretty obvious. The spiritual path is of free choice, but when you choose it, you are guided and given advice to and are being kept safe all the way. Of course, you have room for error, and you will pay karma when you are doing something that is unjust or something not right. But as long as you take it in dignity and integrity and love for yourself and promise yourself you will do better and ask for forgiveness, then you will be able to learn from it, to become something more, and to focus on the better things, the bigger things, the things that is for all. For I will say this, not one human being on this earth can be permanently happy and stable until everyone is happy and stable. It will only be fleeting, it will only be for a moment or 2 or 100 in life, but it will not become something foundational. So, when you focus on spirituality, the organism of everything and the life, you will feel that you're filled up with something that was missing before, because it was a dark void of no life, of mechanisms. But when you fill it with life, with spirituality, with angels, archangels, archais, kyriodities, dunamis, exousiae, thrones, cherubim, seraphim, and God, and the ascended masters and our ancestors, and start to combine these things and start to find out where these things are, how they operate, what kind of powers are these, and where do they help us in everyday life. This requires a certain occult and esoteric training and building up of concepts, building up of living, breathing concepts, more or less. It takes time. But just like learning the alphabet, learning math, learning a new language, it requires time to build up the concept, the right understanding for it. And the understandings have already been built up earlier. You just have to learn them for yourself. And then build upon them. And discover new things in them. That is to honor those that came before and to give the world a new thing based on their teachings. That is a high honor to give. And I love that honor. I really, really look up to and revere all the spiritual teachers, masters, and angels of old. And what they have given us today that we can work with everyone. And that we can build something that is worthy of us human beings, instead of living as the dark creatures that we are at today's moment. We have capabilities, capacities, and last but not least, we are something more than we are portraying ourselves as. That's what I have to say today. Thanks the divine hierarchies and Godhead, Christ, all the ascended masters, angelic hierarchies, ancestors, please guide us all that wants the betterment of the world. Goodbye.